Hey you! Today we are going to be checking out my song Journey featuring Syncatto and my DAW that I used to track the whole song. In this video I will show you guys my thought process and give you guys a little bit more of an insight to how this song was made and tracked and put together. Alright, so over here all of these colors is just pretty much the Get Good drums, and the exact Get Good drums that I used is the Matt Halpin pack. I used the Matt Halpin pack and I used the kit number 3, and for the bass guitar I used Gen Bass, but I just used the DI of it and I routed the DI into TH3, and that is where I get my bass tone from. Alright, so here's the EQ pedal, then distortion, and then over here I have the amplifier. Pretty much have the bass at 1 o'clock, mid at 10 o'clock, treble is at a 9 o'clock, present at 10 o'clock, volume up at 1, and the level is a little bit at in between 10 and 11. And then we have the cab. So my tones for all of the guitars in this song is pretty much all from my headrest gig board. Let me play you guys the intro and slash verse. Alright, so this one is just pretty simple starting off. So you have the rhythm going in the middle, and then we have your octave and lead, and then bass, right? So the lead is just pretty much playing around in F sharp minor pentatonic, and then the lead guitar goes like. As you can see, it pretty much all I'm pretty much doing in that is just messing around in the F sharp pentatonic. And so yeah, that is pretty much how the first section of the song goes. Then after that we head into the hook. Now in this section I changed up the rhythm just a little bit, having one take of the rhythm hard pan to the left and then another take to the right, and then having one in the middle to make the hook sound a little bit bigger and brighter than how it was in the intro. So this is the first hook. The rhythm. Right, and then here's the lead. Now the second guitar is pretty much just playing an octave down from the lead riff. So just move on to the first actual verse, you should say. Now in the This one I changed it up a little bit as well. When I first was tracking this song, I originally wanted to do the same thing as I did on the hook, where the rhythm goes hard pan left and then the other hard pan to the right. But after like listening to it and thinking about it, I thought it just sounded better when there's two rhythm guitars going down the middle. Right, so it kind of keeps it centered, and then once we hit the pre-hook, it opens back up again through the pre-hook and then the next hook. And again, pretty much how I was doing the hook is the octave guitar. Again, you're just doing, just playing the lead, but an octave lower. Right? So that is pretty much the octave pre-hook going on. Alright, and then now we move on to the hook. And right here, I added an extra octave guitar part, and this one is pretty much playing it's pretty much just highlighting that main hook a little bit more, while the main octave guitar goes like. It follows the lead a little bit more than how the second octave guitar does. And the reason why I did that is so the hook doesn't get dull or repetitive real quick. And then if you just sprinkle in just a little bit extra layer, make it a little bit more interesting, it'll make it less likely to get little repetitive, right? So that's why I added a little bit of an extra octave guitar going on in there. And then we are onto the bridge. So the bridge is pretty simple. I just have a clean guitar playing the F sharp minor, A major, and then G major. And then underneath the clean guitar and my lead guitar, I have a build-up bass down here. And then we have our solo from Syncatto. get over to the final hook in just a second, but first I want to talk about the harmonizer going underneath Syncatto solo during this section. So how I created that harmonizer part going on underneath his solo, what I did is I took his DI, routed it to this channel, and then I routed it into a TH3 plugin. Alright, and then let me zoom in if I can. Oh, that's a bit much. Ah, that's good. So I have it going through a harmonizer, and then go through a compressor, and then added a bit of a delay, and then it's then going into a clean amplifier, and then out the cab, and that is what you hear here. Right, it sounds pretty weird, but when it's actually like mixed in with everything that's going on, it comes out sounding really good. It kind of gives it a little bit more of a support to his solo. Again, I did that bass build up. I think I just reversed a sample of a bass hitting a note G, and then reversed that sample, and I did the same on the snare. So when you reverse the snare hit, it comes out sounding like. And then on top of that, we have the bridge build up on the guitar, which goes like. And then the final hook. Alright, and then I'll get to the hook in just a second, but first I want to talk about Syncatto's little percussive strumming, which goes like. Or something like that, right? So he sent me this, like pretty much like a sample of his percussive strumming over the outro, and then I cut it up and made it a little bit different for the hook. So with the percussive strumming going on in the final hook, it sounds like. And then we have our outro right there. Alright, and then so I have two rhythm guitars going down right in the middle, two different takes, and then you got your lead solo. Let's go over the drums real quick, see what we have going on there. So down here, that is the kicks, and then the snare on the D5. G sharp is a crash. But yeah, it's like a pretty simple, fast-paced rock drum beat. I have it going at a little bit of a high velocity, so it's like giving that really good punchiness to it. Now the drumming for the intro and the hook is very similar to one another. And then the hook drumming goes like. And then down here we have our toms doing the little bit of a drum roll or drum solo towards the end of the first hook. And then the two crashes, and then there's a break in the middle, and then it resumes the verse. Then we're back to that same drum beat in the intro. Then the drum beat's pretty much the same thing on the second hook. It just has a little bit more kick to it. And then now we're onto the bridge. So we have a bridge. And then the solo. And then around this part, when it starts to amp up a little bit, I wanted to change up the drums a little bit so it's not just the same, beat throughout the whole bridge. So I changed it up around this part. Add a little bit of ghost notes going on the snare. And then also add in a little bit of tom going on over it. And then after the bridge, it goes back to the same drum beat right there. And then the drum beat on the outro. And then it ends with the double crash. And yeah, that's pretty much how the drum goes. And then let's check out the bass. So the bass on this song, I used Zen Bass by Submission Audio, and then I routed the DI of that into its own bass bus, and again into TH3. Here's what the bass sounds like with everything, with all the effects already applied to it. I have it kind of like following along the MIDI map out, so you can kind of see what it's doing, and so you can kind of see what it's doing and how it's going about hitting the note. Then we are into the hook. And then the verse. And it's pretty much, so the bass is pretty much the same throughout the whole song. The only difference is the bridge. We're just changing up the rhythm just a little bit. Alright, and that is pretty much everything that's going on in this track, and how I went about tracking everything and putting the pieces together. And so yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and also subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video.